What's happening, all the restaurant owners out there? So today's video is going to be about what expenses can you claim as a restaurant owner, and I'm going to cover the top 10 expenses as I did on my previous video for Amazon sellers. So we do accounting and VAT as well as the full accounting for restaurant owners, and I thought this would be a very important video to cover for you to actually see what actual expenses should you cover or should you claim as part of your expenses from the actual accounts as part of your reducing your tax bill over the year from HMRC. So let's jump into the topic totally and see how we are clarifying that full video. So number one is food cost. So food cost, by the way, I mean that you have to buy food supplies. So restaurant obviously is a restaurant business, and the food supplies is the major part of the business. So a restaurant can never operate without food. This is the first expense that you will definitely record as a restaurant owner. So food cost, the food supplies that you buy to prepare food or to serve your meals for your customers, is the first cost that you will incur in your business as a restaurant, takeaway, or food business owner. All right. So next one comes on my list is a vehicle cost slash fuel cost. That includes the delivery service. So it's rare these days that a restaurant does not have a delivery service. The delivery car will be recorded under assets when you buy a car or a van for the business. That will be one of your assets for the business, by the way. All right, so once it's been recorded as an asset, then the asset is referring to that you can still claim the expense as an asset. However, if the business was to ever fail or somebody was to sue you, people can actually can enforce you legally to clarify the class the actual vehicle, just like the car or the van, as part of the asset, something like if you've got furnishings, or if you've got any other assets like cash in the business, or if you've got investment. So these assets also fall within the same criteria of the vehicles, such as like cars as well as vans. So these can be taken away if you're under debt or if you have legal enforcement against you. So that's what asset is going more towards. All right, so now the fuel will be charged as business expense. So you'll have day-to-day fuel that will incur when you do the delivery service. Would be if it's one of your drivers who is self-employed and he's doing the delivery service using his car, then that's a completely different matter. They will just obviously bill you for the time they have spent at your place, or you pay them hourly including the fuel cost, and now that's their business to take care of it, how they serve the fuel cost. However, for you, if you have your own drivers and if you have your own delivery, the car or a van, you would be able to claim those fuel as a business expenses, from your tax bill at the end of the year. All right. So next on my list is repair and maintenance. So on the vehicle, the repair and maintenance, is also very common. So when you're operating a business such as like a restaurant, a cafe, or a food chain or food supply, you're looking at, since the delivery service is part of your business operation, the repairs and maintenance of the vehicle used for this can be charged as part of the expense of the business. So bear in mind this, guys, that any sort of like if you have a breakdown, or if you change parts in the car, a headlight, or maybe the indicator's not working, or maybe the tires need changing, anything related to the actual repair and maintenance, MOT cost, tax, anything, road tax, you will be able to claim as part of your expense of the business. All right. So salaries and wages. So salaries and wages, these are the amount that you pay your waiters, cooks, cashiers, the delivery drivers, dishwashers, and your general staff in the business. Now, if you want to employ somebody on a self-employment basis, they would be obviously invoicing you and you'd pay them an invoice. But somebody that actually working under you, under your books, as part of the payroll in the restaurant, you will be paying them regular salaries and wages, or salaries and wages as part of your expense. So bear in mind, you can claim this absolutely 100%. You can claim this as part of your business expense at the end of the year and before you file your accounts. So you make, you take it out from your profit, and in the end, the tax work out to be lower than it's meant to be. So that's how it is. Right. Insurance. So insurance is the next on my list. Insurance plays a vital role in a restaurant business, especially you have gas ranges and is using fire daily in your business operation. So if you've got health and safety so much involved in the restaurant. Now you've got fire, you've got gas, you've got a hot serving. So insurance is a vital legal subscription to have in your business, and that will cover you from a lot of future challenges that you might have in the business. So insurance is a genuine expense of the business, and this is a claimable expense from the restaurant business of this day-to-day operation. So laundry and cleaning. These are the cost of your washing tablecloths and table napkins, the cost of cleaning your gas ranges and others. So now laundry and cleaning can also include the staff uniform as well as any serving towels or anything like this. So if you have laundry and cleaning, which you do, and if you are paying for the bills, in order to get them, sorted out on a weekly or every few days basis, do ensure to claim this as part of your expense from your business. And this is something that you want to make sure your bookkeeper or accountant does that for you and calculate this for you. Miscellaneous expenses. Now, in recording your business expense, you don't only consider the large sum you spend, but also the little things like ball pens used, like pens and papers used for taking orders, or the stapler that you use for taking out bags, or any sort of food containers, or any sort of accessories that you have to buy on a regular basis, day-to-day basis, cleaning materials that you have to buy to keep the floor clean, the tables clean, the atmosphere, the kitchen clean. Now so these are the stuff that you can also claim as part of your expense from your books, and ensure to record the bookkeeping properly, keeping hold of all the receipts, and you will be able to claim those expenses. Administrative expense. These are the expenses for your administrative staff working in the office and not directly in the restaurant. So this could be your staff taking orders through phone, or your staff distributing the flyers. So for example, for advertising campaign. So administrative expense is one of the major expenses that you need to ensure that you do claim when you have a restaurant or food supply business. Rental cost. So rental cost, if you are renting out the space, and majority of the time, which people do, rent or lease, regardless, whichever, you do have to pay at the end of the month or quarter or yearly. So renting out the space where your restaurant is, and you will record this cost as part of your business expense, provided that the space is only for business operations. So that's very important to realize that it is for that business that you're claiming for. So if the restaurant is there, you're claiming for the restaurant only. Now, if you do have some apartments upstairs of the restaurant, this is not a facility for the restaurant staff, which you provide as part of their salary or accommodation, then you cannot claim from those apartments. That's a different premise, class of completely different premise, and you have to make sure you exclude those bills from the actual expense. So you only stick to the restaurant premises, and you claim the actual expenses for restaurants thereon. All right. Advertising and marketing. So to be able to let people know that your restaurant exists, you need to advertise and market your business. This can be in a form of printing, for example, leaflets or flyers, putting up ads on the internet, such as like social media, Google Local, and even doing promo meals. So such as 10% discount, or starter is free, appetizer is free if you have the main meal, or having like lunchtime half price, dinner time, compared to the dinner time, so people jump in during the quiet period. So advertising and marketing is definitely generally something that you can claim. Now obviously, if you are advertising those, using banners like lunchtime free, half price, or cheaper to also the offers of the discount offers on banners or leaflets, you can definitely claim those expenses. Now, so the cost that it will incur to advertise and market the business, and basically to do the promotions to bring people, bring the footstep into your restaurant, is the cost of promotions and marketing that can be claimed. All right, so this is very common, and I understand everybody understands these topics, but it's important to remind you the little things that can go missing while you're super busy. All right, so as always, I do bring an important tip, as part of my video. So, important tips in claiming your VAT. All expenses are claimable in HMRC as long as your business is VAT registered and your suppliers are VAT registered. So if you're standard VAT registered 20%, and you get a VAT invoice, so any sort of claims that you make in terms of your expense, and we can, or your accountant or bookkeeper can, claim your VAT at the same time during each period of the VAT. But you have to meet the criteria by being VAT registered, by being a standard VAT registered business, the standard rate. So standard rate is 20%, as I'm making this video today, and so ensure that you are qualified to claim those. And if you're doing your own books, you do have to do your own research. Otherwise, if you have a qualified bookkeeper or an accountant, they will be able to ensure that you do that properly. Now, suppliers can also be suppliers of services to your business, like your accountant, insurance agents, and so on. So you will need to ask for a VAT invoice from the supplier to reclaim your VAT from HMRC. All right, so that's it for my video today, guys, and thanks very much for following. And if you do need an accountant who will do that fully in comprehensive service virtually, and we will be able to help you, and we are the right people to talk to. If you do need an accountant who can sort out proper accounting with a full service virtually, and we will be able to even visit your premises, do advice accordingly as needed. So thanks very much for following, and thanks very much for watching the video. Press the like button, subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon for notifications going forward. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Have a nice day ahead. Bye bye now.